You can miss some of the best new weapons in the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC depending on the choices you make, so let's highlight these weapons and how to get them so you can decide which path is right for you. First up is the Wild Dog, an iconic LMG which already makes it pretty unique as there are not a lot of those. And the unique perk on it is really fun too, as it increases your fire rate and crit chance with every hit on a target. So it really pays to just keep the trigger down, especially against tanky targets like vehicles. The fire rate will ramp up to ridiculous amounts. It's really fun to use. This will result in a lot of recoil, so I recommend firing from the hip to remain a bit more accurate. Finally, quick melee attacks while the magazine is empty also deal a lot more damage, but since they're rather slow, you're probably still better off using a melee weapon in close quarters combat. In fact, I recommend picking up the Onslaught skill from the body tree so you never have to reload again. But staying on the note of melee weapons, you can also get an iconic knife called the Fang. Repeated attacks in close combat with this weapon increase its damage, but the Fang can also be used to cripple an enemy by throwing it at them. And while it is not needed for the cripple effect to trigger, I'd recommend aiming for an enemy's legs with the Fang. The reason for that is because of this weapon's synergy with another new iconic weapon you get from the same source, the Bald Eagle. Even without any iconic effects, this weapon deals incredible damage thanks to the explosive rounds and the insane headshot multiplier of 250%. But on top of that, if you throw Fang at an enemy's leg, then shoot that leg with the Bald Eagle, the leg will rip apart and Fang will be returned to your hand. Now I will say this effect is definitely better at higher difficulties, as on normal both the Fang and Bald Eagle alone can easily one-tap enemies. But on very hard this is a very potent combo, as the first hit with Fang will cripple an enemy and then following up with the Bald Eagle will instantly kill them.
Looking good, Dennis. Sadly, I did not get them, but I did get Murphy's Law, a unique melee weapon that is actually really good, thanks to the bleeding, stun and shock chance. So just swing and these effects will trigger and you get increased attack speed on knocked down enemies. Also, strong attacks deal more, and with a 1 second charge time you can easily spam this and often insta-kill regular enemies. So it's pretty nice. I also got the Pariah from my story choices, which is an iconic tech pistol that fires 3 bullets in a burst, but if you charge it up, those 3 bullets become 1, dealing the full damage of those 3 bullets. Very easily taking out enemies. And of course, go for headshots. This will also then reduce the charge time of these shots and increase the reload speed. Now the thing that makes this gun especially nice is that it's completely silent, so you deal a lot of damage, enemies won't spot you. It's really perfect for a stealth approach. So totally 2 great weapons, although it will not beat what you got, Dennis. Like, I'm kind of jealous because you really got one of the coolest weapons in the game with the path you chose.
Yes, that's right. It's called the Erebus and it's a very unique weapon. For one, because it's an SMG that fires in a shotgun pattern. So while that might make it a bit weaker over longer ranges, it's even stronger when you get up close and personal. And because it's an SMG, you can also use this amazing weapon while in or on a vehicle. On top of that, low health enemies are instantly killed with this awesome red glitch effect. This triggers a unique death sound. And if that wasn't creepy enough, sometimes the gun also talks to you.
A dreadful waste of resources.
There also seems to be a small chance to trigger a quick hack too, which is not listed in the item description. I think it disables enemy cyberware, as the icon looks kind of similar, but if you know what it does, let us know in the comments. On the note of cyberware, there's also a unique Cyberdeck that can be found during one of the endings, the Militech Canto Mark 6. The special thing about this iconic Cyberdeck is that it gives you access to a unique quick hack, Blackwall Gateway. This insta-kills pretty much all enemies except bosses like Maxstack, and it also spreads to other nearby targets. Spreading this effect will make each consecutive upload quicker, but it will also cost more RAM, and if you run out, the virus will stop spreading. So smart to also get the overclock skill from the intelligence tree so you can trade health for more RAM. This will even cut the RAM cost for spreading Blackwall Gateway in half, as you can see in the item description. So it's a very powerful quick hack to have in your arsenal, and then you can add 4 more of your own choosing to this Militech Canto Mark 6. Now you will have to choose between getting the Erebus and the Canto, as you cannot get both on a single save. And I'd recommend the Erebus out of the 2, as it's a unique weapon you cannot get anywhere else without any real downsides. Whereas the Canto's unique quick hack is good, but in every other category it's worse than other legendary Cyberdecks.
So to tell you how to get these weapons, we sadly have to talk a bit about spoilers, although we will of course try to be as vague as possible. One spoiler-free thing I can say is that you want to make a manual save before starting the Firestarter main quest. This will namely include a very important choice that will decide which items you will get in the end. So totally come back later if you don't want to specifically know what you have to do. Otherwise, if you're still here. Okay, so again, during that Firestarter mission, you at one point will have to choose to go with either Songbird or Help Reed. I went with the first option, and then you can get the two weapons that I talked about. Like there's a mini boss very close to this choice that will drop the Murphy's Law melee weapon, and then during the Killing Moon main mission that immediately follows the Firestarter mission, you'll have another choice to either give up on Songbird or help her to reach her final destination. Again, I will remain vague, but if you help her, you will get that powerful Pariah pistol. So if you don't help her, you only get the unique melee weapon from your choices. So I totally like my ending, story and gameplay wise, and I would recommend that you just do both of them. But in terms of rewards that you then take with you to the base game, the choice that you made, Dennis, is way better.
Oh, I definitely agree. I went with Reed's side of the story and pretty much immediately got my first 3 rewards. The Wild Dog, Fang and Bald Eagle are almost impossible to miss as they drop from the boss near the end of the Firestarter mission. Next, you want to keep playing until you reach the mission Somewhat Damaged. The mission starts with you investigating a crashed transport. Follow the path all the way down until you reach this door marked with strange red energy. If you have a body score of 20, you can pry it open to loot the iconic crowbar weapon from a box immediately to the right of the entrance. Mostly just an Easter egg this one, as it has no unique perk, but it is missable if you don't look here or if you lack the 20 body required to open the door. Either way, continue with the mission until you are tasked with disabling various data terminals. You'll need to activate the first 2, after which a complication, or in other words a big scary robot, will show up and you need to run. Take a left and then another left to drop down this hole, then follow the path, take a right and then head up the ladder on your left. Head to the door on the far end of the room and head out the door marked with an exit sign. From there, just walk straight until you see a door marked maintenance. The door lock is jammed and you'll need 20 technical ability in order to fix it. Scan the lock, then the door to locate the power source needed to fix it. And then, after opening the door, you will find the blueprint for the Erebus lying right in front of you. Maintenance also offers you a shortcut into the next area by entering the vents from the 2nd level, and then you can easily drop down through this hole. So you can skip the second 2 terminals otherwise needed to progress and continue with the mission. Before long, you're tasked with a similar objective, as you need to disable key computer systems in the labs. When entering, keep heading straight until you see a sign on your left that says experimental prototyping. Approach the device next to it and enter the code 714212. The blueprint for the Militech Canto MK6 will be on one of the back tables. And there is a bit more to crafting either the Erebus or the Canto, as they both require a unique crafting material that you only get one of. First order of business is grabbing it off the final boss, so don't forget to loot our little robot friend and then just finish the mission. After completing the DLC, you'll receive a message from an unknown number which starts the quest This Corrosion. It's very simple, you just need to bring the unique crafting material we looted to someone who can turn it into a material we can actually use, so just follow the map marker to get it. With the decoded chip in hand, you must then choose to craft the Erebus, which also requires 40 tier 5 item components, or the Canto, which requires 50 and 12 tier 5 quick hack components as well. If you found more unique weapons in the DLC, let us know in the comments, as we plan to do more DLC weapon vids. Subscribe to not miss those, and you can already watch our previous one by clicking on the screen. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.